And we've started. This is our third podcast of A Century of Movies. This movie was my choice. It is The Maltese Falcon.
Mm.
So let's just get started with a quick question. You know me, I love my black and white and I love my film noir. Now, have you ever seen this movie before?
I had not. No.
Really?
Nope.
Wow.
I
I'm
know.
shocked by that, actually.
I was
I know
too,
you're
to be
not crazy
honest.
of the black and whites and the old ones, but man, this is like,
Oh, this one's legendary. I was surprised I hadn't seen it either. I thought maybe there was a chance I had, and then I started it, and it wasn't ringing any bells. So, first time for me.
it's funny because I think about it now. I don't think I really saw it or maybe pieces of it, parts of it years ago. It wasn't until really got reinvested in black and white movies that I know for sure that I saw it. I didn't remember anything about it. You know the name, you've heard it, and obviously Humphrey Bogart, and so you think maybe did I see this before? But I don't even
Yep.
know if I did way back when. So, but I've watched it like 4 times in like probably the last 2 years now,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
and it merits repeated viewings. Let me tell you, you pick up something new like every time.
I believe it. I believe
Yeah.
it.
So let's get right at. Let's start off with the director, John Huston. Do you know
Yep.
anything about John Huston? I know you've heard the name, or
Yeah, I mean, I know he's a legend. He had a big writing and directing career. Also, apparently did some acting, which I wasn't really aware of. Got some good acting credits in there as well. But yeah, certainly knew
you
who
know
he
what he
was.
was in. What he was great in was Chinatown.
I know.
And
Yep.
there's a lot of similarities in vibe to this movie in Chinatown.
Yep.
So yeah, he's an
Fun.
interesting guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, fun fact, real quick. Chinatown is often regarded as the greatest screenplay ever written.
Yeah, I've actually heard that. Isn't it Sid
Hmm.
Field's book that they talked that about?
It's been a long time since I read that one, but
That
I
was like
mean,
that was like that gospel back in the day.
that and Butch Cassidy are considered like the two, go tos
We should probably not talk anything
for
about
script
those because
writing.
I'm sure I'll bring those up at some point. Two of
Please
my
do.
faves. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
there's so much about this movie that just a little bit of trivia stuff that I know about John Huston. He also he directed Humphrey Bogart in The African Queen that got Bogart his Oscar, and
Hmm.
Catherine Hepburn wrote a book about that, and they went over and shot it in the Congo, like all this, like they were sleeping in tents and getting eaten by bugs and stuff like that. It was like she described it. It was like it sounded terrible, and
Oh yeah.
but it gave it the sense of reality and stuff, of course. But anyhow, they said on their days off, John Huston is like one of those bigger than life characters. And I'm not saying I agree with this, but he said on his day off, one of his goals is he wanted to go shoot an elephant.
Oh
Just,
my
what I mean?
God.
He's like that kind of a guy. You know what I mean? Just
Sure.
I'm in Africa. I got to do the African thing.
Yeah, to
So
fight a
he
tiger.
never did. Thank God. But yeah, exactly. He's just a
Yeah.
wild dude. So anyhow, he had a very pretty successful writing career, and so finally he wanted to direct, and they allowed him to direct this movie.
Mm.
Give him his first chance, and of course he wrote it as well. Now this is a remake. There was another. They did a. It was this is a Dashiell Hammett um, book. And you
Hmm.
ever heard of Dashiell Hammett? It's funny because your favorite movie is Pulp Fiction, right?
Yep.
So this
Yep.
movie, Maltese Falcon, is Pulp Fiction. It's a
Right.
Pulp Fiction, because that's what it was a black mask that they used to release them in these, those tawdry sort of magazines, all the, in the 20s and 30s. And it's funny, I never knew what pulp meant. Like the word. Did you know
Hmm.
where it comes from?
I don't remember where it comes
It's I
from.
just found this out recently. It's literally it's like pulp wood. It's the
Yeah.
cheap paper that they printed those magazines on, as opposed to the glossy. That's where the term Pulp Fiction comes from.
Oh, as opposed to glossy. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Glossy was the more high end kind of stuff. This was the
Hmm.
cheaper crap. So anyhow, they did a movie. This is a remake they did 1931. I ended up watching it, and it's man, it's corny, dude.
Okay.
It's amazing how different. I know even if, especially for someone like you who doesn't want to watch a lot of black and white movies, you might think the acting is a little bit broad, but if you go back even 10 years prior to this, I think it was 1931. This is 1941. The acting was so much more broad back then.
I can't even imagine. And
Yeah,
for you to
it's
say it's cheesy, it must be
yeah,
just
exactly. Because oh my, yeah, and it's interesting because that was before that was pre-code, so they could be a little more overt in their sexuality and stuff like that. In the 31,
mm,
they had to scamper. We'll talk about as we get going, but they had to sort of the Hayes Code and all that. They clamped down, and so they had to certain innuendo thing like that that they talk about in the movie. But the novel itself, which I have not read, was a lot. Let's just say more risque, and
yeah.
they had to just find ways not to talk about it, but sort of implied in this particular version. But
Right.
the 31 version was a little bit more, let's just say risque, I guess. So
Mm.
anyhow, then the cast. What'd you think of this cast?
I mean, I thought they were great. I got to be honest. This is embarrassing to say. Obviously, I know who Humphrey Bogart is.
Mm.
I Yeah, when he popped up on the screen, part of me was like, "Ah, that's what he looks like." Like it was just so like him and Cary Grant and all those guys. Like I don't know that I could have told you who's who out of a lineup. I knew who they are, but I was like, okay, yeah, that's Bogart. Gotcha.
It's funny because I've been so ingrained with the golden era of Hollywood but I can see I can see how that would be because at one point that was me too, because you're not watching those movies. You've
Yeah.
heard the name. By the way, Humphrey Bogart was sort of a forgotten, golden age of Hollywood guy. You know who brought him back to sort of I don't know, renew interest in him was Woody Allen with Play It Again, Sam. Yeah, I think that was
Oh, interesting.
1974,
Okay.
75. Yeah, where he does sort of a, like the character. Like, there was a guy imitating, he was having trouble with the ladies, and so this guy in his head, it was just doing an impersonation of Humphrey Bogart, and it was a decent movie. I
Oh.
liked it. It was a good movie, but anyhow, that sort of brought Bogart back into fashion, in the 70s.
Oh,
But
okay. Well,
yeah,
I was
Bogart,
also
man.
watching this. Yeah. Oh, legend. Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll get to it. But yeah, continue. Yeah, Bogart, absolute legend for sure.
What'd you think of the rest of the cast, the other cast members?
Well,
There's,
it's
there's,
funny
there's
because
been
I
some
was
interesting
watching
cast
it.
members.
Interesting characters for
Yeah.
sure. The other guy, Mr. Cairo, I was like, man, that guy looks so familiar, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it until I looked it up and saw it was obviously Peter Lorre. But
Yeah.
another good example of I know who that guy is, kind of recognized him, couldn't put my finger on it. So,
Yeah. But it's interesting about Peter Lorre. There's actually YouTube videos on how many characters, and a lot of them are cartoons, are literally just like imitation of him, his voice, and
mhm.
hell, man, like even in Aladdin, there was a portion where Robin Williams was doing a Peter Lorre impression. There's a
Oh,
character that
right.
was on The Simpsons that was Peter Lorre. I mean, there's YouTube videos. I watched part of it. There was at least I turned the video off because I was busy, but at least 20 characters, and that was part two. That was the second video. I didn't even watch the part one. That's how many people that guy has influenced. Peter Lorre.
Oh my
And I
God.
love Peter Lorre, man. And
Yeah.
he's fantastic in this movie. He's so interesting. He's just so unique. But
Oh, for sure.
we know that voice even if you never heard him. You've heard it in cartoons when you were young.
Yep.
Imagine seeing that guy for the first time, and there was nobody like him before. You never heard that voice or seen that style.
Right.
That must have been just like interesting when he first came out. You're like, who is this guy? So exotic looking. He's Hungarian, and
Okay.
I think his first movie was a Hitchcock movie in the States, and he didn't speak any English. He just had to learn it phonetically and say it, and you couldn't even tell. He just because he did it so well. It's such a natural ishness. Okay, so we got those
Yeah.
two. And what did you think about Mary Astor? She's the obviously several different roles she played, her name she gave.
Oh yeah. I thought she
Shaughnessy.
was great as well. This is where I stopped recognizing people. I got two characters in, I knew, or two actors in. I was like, all right, cool. And then the rest of them were all brand new for me. But I thought she was great.
Well, I'll tell you, Mary Astor was kind of new for me too. I've heard the name,
Okay.
but I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. She's not like considered. I mean, I'm sure in some regard she's considered legendary, but she's not up there with the Ava Gardners and people where you
Sure.
just hear the name. Even you haven't heard the name Mary Astor in a long time.
No.
And Sidney Greenstreet. Did you happen to look up anything about him, the fat man? Gutman
Yeah, this is his first role. From what I understood, he also got
movie
nominated
role.
for
Yeah.
supporting actor. I also thought I saw he was so heavy that they had to custom make all his clothes, and some of the furniture he sat on had to be reinforced. Uh,
I mean, that could
cl-
very well be.
yeah, that's what I saw somewhere along the way, clocking in well over 300 pounds.
Yeah, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I mean, it's hard to believe that was his first role, and he was 61 years old, first movie role.
Right.
Big
Yeah,
big
that's right.
theater guy.
Hmm.
Again, another character that has been mimicked through time. But he was
Yeah.
the originator of that, the laughing and all
Right.
that stuff. I personally, what about now that you not that you had to recognize, but you might the guy who played Wilmer, kind of the little nebbishy guy.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Did you that guy had such a long career, Elijah Cook Jr., such a
Okay.
long career. Did you ever see Rosemary's Baby?
A long time ago.
Okay, he was in that. He was I mean, that was 1 or something like that there, and this is
Yeah, that's a great
41.
one.
Yeah,
That's a great
he
one.
had such a great he's such a great it's interesting, Elijah Cook Jr. because he plays that goofball guy, right? Small,
Yeah.
but in real life, that guy was like the man's man. John Huston said he lived up in the Sierras and he hunted and he fished and he didn't like the Hollywood scene. And whenever they needed him, they'd call him and he'd come down, do his movie or whatever, and then go right back up. Like, you know what I mean? Not what you would
That's
think at all
awesome.
looking at him. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Really sounds like it's just a really cool cat.
Yeah.
I like to be honest with you, I thought this cast was just phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
literally not one wrong move with this cast. I'm talking the secretary, the white. By the way, his partner who got shot obviously was only on screen for what, maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He was the prosecuting attorney in Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh my
He's the
god.
attorney who had to
Okay.
prosecute Santa Claus. So
Oh
you know what
geez.
I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't have much to do here, but I still thought he was good.
Yeah.
And
A
his
little
wife, I thought,
leery,
yeah,
little
exactly, well,
creepy, but
exactly. And
yeah.
he got across exactly what he needed to right off the bat.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is dominated by Humphrey Bogart. Obviously, I think
Yeah.
there's only maybe one short scene where he's not in it.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, when I was watching it again, I didn't necessarily dawn on me the first time I saw it. But and of course, it's Bogart dominated. But the one to me that really ground this movie and made it work was Mary Astor, in my opinion. Because
Mm,
again, I've been watching these movies for a long time, right?
yeah.
These all these 40s it's film noir where there's a lot of femme fatale.
Hmm.
She wasn't, and this is like the first, film noir, many people consider it, but she wasn't like if she, like if let's just say it was Lana Turner and she appears with the platinum blonde and just standing in a doorway, you're like, uh-oh, this girl's trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Already there's something up. With Mary Astor, you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was so believable. Like, wait, is she even when she said I lied, you're like, okay, I believe you now.
Right. Right.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. No,
she was
she was great.
believable the whole way. Oh, it's almost like when I think about Star Wars, the original Star Wars, A New Hope, what made that everything work was Alec Guinness, in my opinion. He made that world
Mm,
real because he had that
mm,
just gravity. Without him, that whole thing doesn't work, in my opinion. I
interesting.
mean, it's beautiful to look at and all that stuff, but I mean, he actually made
Sure.
you believe in the Force, and that's how I feel like Mary Astor was for this movie. Like I'm on board because I believe, she just made it very real. I thought like, and we'll talk about more about stuff like that, but I just thought the cast was superb all the way through.
Yeah, I do
So
too. And it was cool too because again, I didn't know anybody besides two of them, so it was cool to get to see some new faces out there.
yeah, in some ways, I kind of wish I could go back and see this again for the first time without all this knowledge of seeing these other. I've watched every Bogart movie over the last 2 years just because he's like literally my favorite guy to watch. Period.
Oh,
I just
nice.
love
Okay.
watching Bogart. Anything
Yeah.
he's in. Wish he had done more. So
Yeah.
anyhow, speaking of Star Wars, didn't mean to round this up, but the opening scrawl,
Oh
where
yeah. Hmm.
where they talk about the Falcon and give stuff, and then into the shot of the San Francisco. It's interesting. I forgot to bring this up earlier, but Dashiell Hammett, who wrote the book,
Hmm.
he worked in San Francisco for a detective agency for a short time.
Oh,
Pinkerton,
cool.
Pinkerton, something or other. They were like at one time the biggest detective agency in the world, and they go way back to, if you can believe this, Abraham Lincoln hired Pinkerton at one point for some kind of whatever security job. So
Yeah.
it was a big time thing. But anyhow, Dashiell Hammett, Samuel Dashiell Hammett, or Sam Dashiell Hammett. That's where the name Sam Spade comes from. That's his real name, Sam Dashiell Hammett. He based most of these characters on real people. He said that Humphrey Bogart, the Sam Spade character, was an elevated version of some of the detectives he worked with, but more like a superhero, like a version that doesn't exist in the real world. But they
Right.
wish they were like him. So, kind of a superhero kind of vibe.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the movie. The opening scene. We pan back from, we see in reverse Sam Spade or Spade and Archer.
Yep.
And then pan in right there.
Yep.
I just thought that was an amazing opening scene.
Yeah, with the Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just pan back, and now we're in the office,
Mm-hmm.
and just it's again. I don't know if because film noir is we're looking back now. Imagine seeing that for the first time. I don't know how many people had seen shadowy and sort of dark, kind of just the whole vibe that started off,
Right.
and then immediately Effie comes in, and this is not sure this was fly today, but hey, sweetheart, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
sweetheart, and then you'll like her. She's a real knockout, So right off the bat, we get Mary Astor coming in, and she's got that story to tell about her sister. And what did you think when she first started talking? Were you like, oh, I totally believe this lady? Or
I mean, what I loved about it is the movie just got right into it. There was
right
no fluff.
into it, man.
Just right, boom, here. Let's just get right to the story, which is another one of my, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but the pacing of this movie I thought was outstanding. But right into it, I was just immediately along for the ride. I was just like, okay, great. Let's we got like a pulpy detective story here. Let's see what, like, this is the setup of it. Let's see where we go. And I did believe her at first. I was like, okay, great. Yeah. All right. We got to go to the hotel and find this guy and see what happens.
Yep. I mean, even though I've seen it a million times, I was believing her too. She comes across as so sincere. She's so good in this movie. To find out later what she ended up being, it's just like, oh, this girl. And what I think about now is how much, I know they didn't completely believe. I just wonder how much Sam Spade really did believe, or he didn't believe anything. If he was just onto her from moment one, or was he ever fooled by her? I still don't know completely.
Yeah, I had the same thought, but I think my takeaway at the end was I don't think he cares whether he's telling the truth or not, whether she's telling, you know what I mean? He's like, look, I'm Sam Spade. I'm gonna figure this out no matter what. You do you. I'm gonna be fine at the end of this.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's pretty much how it all worked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, man, they get right into it. And then of course Miles enters, and it's interesting in the 1931 the 1931 movie, and I don't know if I know they took a little more. I think this movie was much more closer to the novel. But in the 31 movie, the Sam Spade is talking to the wife in the office, and she's talking on the phone to Archer's wife, and Archer comes in to the lobby area, but he doesn't go to the office, and he picks up the phone. He hears them talking. So it's not like he just, it's weird. He kind of, plus he was old. He was just kind of older, and it didn't look like they would be friends at all. And it was a weird, because these two looked like they were buddies,
Right.
Archer comes in, and right away, looking at her. Oh,
Dude.
that's what I know. That's what I noticed this time. While Sam Spade's looking at her, Archer's behind Sam Spade. Oh no, well, Archer's behind Shaughnessy, whatever her name was to begin. I forget. Mary Astor, her character. And she doesn't see Archer, and he's like he's looking at Sam Spade like, ooh, this girl's hot. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
okay, you're a little sleaze bag here, you know?
Oh yeah, leering at her. I'll be the one at the hotel. Oh, it'll be me. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. And I like the fact that they
Mhm.
got that going right off the bat, so we
Yep.
don't feel terrible. You know what I mean?
R-
Because none
Yeah.
of these people are nice people. None of them are saints. Let's be honest. We got that right off
Right.
the bat. And so she tells it to Tori and then, gives him the $200. And then is there anything else here? 100% believable. Miles Creeper, you got range, pan down, reflect. Yeah. So then that's the thing. So then they exit and then they pan down to show the logo, Spade and
Yep.
Archer on the floor. I just thought that was such a cool shot. First time
Yeah.
director, man. Really
Yep.
impressed. So, and then they cut to. So, what did you think when you saw Archer getting shot?
I wasn't sure who it was, to be honest, at first. I wasn't sure if it was the
Oh, I wasn't either.
Thursby
First time I saw
character.
it either.
Yeah, I was like, okay, somebody just got shot. I don't know who it was. But again, the pacing, I was like, oh damn, now we already got somebody getting shot. Okay.
Did you know? Did you know it was Archer though? Right away, you knew it was Archer, right? Who got shot?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you
I
didn't
didn't even
recognize it? Oh,
I
okay.
didn't yeah, I didn't. I'd never seen the guy who was on screen for like a minute or two.
Right.
It
Okay.
happened so quick. And then the dark shadowiness, which I loved. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, somebody just got shot. I had a feeling that's who it was, but I also wasn't sure if it was the Thursby character or
Right.
what was going on.
It happened so fast. All of a sudden, he's just standing there. You know what I mean?
Boom.
Like,
next scene. Yeah.
exactly. And it's funny because watching it again, like I have, knowing this is happening, you could see that he's like, he kind of smiles. Clearly,
Yeah.
he knows this person, which rules out Thursby, but you don't know that until you watch it a couple times.
Right. Yeah.
There's
I
no
bet.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he kind of smiles, and so that should let you know right there it was her. But but we don't find that out obviously till later. And then they call Spade in bed, and then Archer's dead, and he Sam Spade, nothing rattles him, man. He immediately call. I love how he can call Effie, his secretary, anytime of night. She's there.
Oh, dude, anything he needs. She's just. I gotcha.
Yeah.
He's
then
like, run down and check on this lady. She's like, I'm on it.
Okay, exactly. She's like the best, man. She
is. Yeah.
Yeah, they should be the next one should have a window with there's two names. She should be a partner at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And then Sam immediately tells her, "Can you break the news to the wife and keep her away from me?" You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, what's going on with these two? Right off the bat, he's like, okay, that's the one thing in this book that even now I don't completely understand why we needed to have Sam Spade having an affair with his wife, because they seem to be like buddies. At least certainly not enemies, and they're partners. I just don't understand. Maybe if I read the book, they'd explain more, or if that's just to show us that nobody's nice or nobody's good all the way through,
or nobody's trustworthy. Yeah, I was waiting for that to really come back, and it didn't really. But
exactly.
Whatever.
I wasn't even watching on repeat. I go, okay, what am I missing? And actually, unless it's just to establish his character.
Yeah.
So then he calls. Let's see. It's a Wembley gun. Oh, he kind of, you can tell Spade's figuring things out. Guns tucked in, he's looking at that board. He's processing stuff right there on the murder that we don't find out that he's putting together right off the bat. And then he calls Miss Wonderly and she's checked out. So that's a little unusual.
Yep.
And then he's speaking to Tom and the lieutenant. And that's when he also mentions, I don't carry a gun, just so we know that he's Sam Spade. I don't need a gun. And by the way, the two cops, the sergeant and Tom, the sergeant, the more serious one, he was the general on I Dream of Jeannie. I thought I recognized him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Long, very, very long acting career. Those two guys are great, man.
Yeah, fan of that show for sure. I Dream of Jeannie. I do like that. I watched it. I watched a couple seasons of that. Big fan.
Absolutely.
Hold on. One other thing that I loved in that scene with the secretary was, the partner has been dead for like a couple of hours, and he's like, and also get his name off the window and just change it to mine. Like immediately, like the guy's still at the morgue, and he's like, all right, let's keep it moving here.
It's all business with those guys, man. And that's
it.
why I wonder. I would love to know. Like I said, maybe I'll have to read the book. Maybe there's something in the book. what is their relationship? Why are they
Mhm.
partners? If there's all this, or if they don't really, I get it. It's business. Hey man, he
Yeah.
died in the line of business. You know what I mean? We're
Yep.
hard-boiled detectives. It happens. He kind of
Mhm.
says it later. Hey, tough break. He got a tough break, but
Yeah.
no emotion, nothing. You know what I mean? It's
Just get
like,
his name out of here. Yeah.
ugh,
It's like,
oh my
wow,
gosh.
okay.
Exactly. And so Spade is this. Oh, so that's why. So then, what's your boyfriend's come at Tom? What's your? Oh, remember those little innuendos and stuff. There was
Oh, yeah.
Spade is being just a little wise ass when the sergeant is grilling him. He goes, "What's your boyfriend getting at?" And I
Uh-huh. I
noticed that,
noticed
like, it
that.
just a little bit of like, come on, guys,
Yep.
and so anyhow, then we find out that Thursby is dead, and this immediately makes Spade a suspect
Yep.
because, hey, I'm getting you back for killing my partner,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
so I love the way he just handles these cops, though, man.
Oh,
He does not get rattled by anything. And
that
then
was what I was wondering. Was it normal for cops to work with PIs this closely back in this era? Was that normal? Because the cops are coming to him for information and he's telling them to basically fuck off. I was just confused by that relationship.
It's weird because in a lot of these movies that I watch, it's detectives and cops,
Yeah.
and they're either at odds or they're helping each other out, or
Yeah.
it's and there's always the one that's kind of angry about it. The other one's, hey, come on, Sam, help us out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Throw me a
Somebody's
bone.
threatened about him, but yeah, it is interesting to were they? But again, Dashiell Hammond having been a detective, maybe he
Mm,
knows more than and basing this stuff on somewhat of a reality thing,
yeah.
and then Archer's wife, man, if we go by every scene, this will be a 4-hour podcast, so we'll
Yep.
try to
Yep.
move
Yep.
forward here. But
Yep.
Archer's wife comes to the office, they make out, and you're like, what? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's when you first find out that what is going on here. You know what I mean?
Oh, I had a lot of that. Yep. Hmm.
Exactly. And then she goes, "Did you kill him?" And that right there is when having watched it again, she goes, "Did you kill him?" That's when Sam Spade was like, "I'm done with you, bitch." I swear to
Yeah.
God,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
see it. He was like incensed. He was
Hmm.
incensed when she said that, and as
Yeah.
he should be. But I go, "Oh my God, that's the moment." He goes, "I'm done with you. I don't ever want to see you again." And he
Right.
kind of like just, and then
Shut it
she's like,
down.
"Be kind to me." You know what I mean? Spade was done right
Yep.
there. I even wrote in my notes, go, "He was done."
Yeah.
So let's see here.
I like
Crazy.
the part where it's him and O'Shaughnessy or whatever her name is, Mary. And he's like, "How much money do you have left?" She's like, $500. He's like, "Give it to me." Just takes all her
I
cash.
know.
She's like, "I need something to eat on." He's like, "Hawk your jewelry." Just
Hawk,
no,
you can
but
you can hawk it. Yeah.
yeah, it's
It's
just
funny. I saw somebody point out, we're getting off topic, it doesn't matter, that another little nuance thing that shows her character. She goes, okay. And then she shows up later in the movie with all her jewelry. So she was lying even about that.
oh,
I didn't notice.
interesting,
I didn't
huh?
notice that, but I heard somebody talking about that, or I watched like some kind of review of the movie or something, and
Hmm.
I meant to look for that. They go, yeah, when later in the movie she's got all her jewelry on. I'm like, oh, okay, that would be a really smart little nuanced way. If you see it, if you notice it, fine. If not, that's fine too.
Yeah, a little attention to detail there.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which would be really cool because just her character. By the way, Houston, John Houston, he was like real meticulous with this movie. He storyboarded everything. He had every shot
Hmm.
laid out. He said he went over with the characters over and over. He said I spent a lot of time with Mary Astor going over how this character should be. So I mean, it all the hard work shows up in my opinion.
Oh, totally. Yeah, directorial debut. He wants to nail it. You can tell too. You can really
Yeah.
tell.
But I mean, they
Hmm.
just really got those characters down,
Yeah.
like on locked in. And it was like I said, she just blew. The more I watch it, the more I just couldn't stop watching her and noticing
Hmm.
her little movements and her little, stuff that because I was just glued to watch. When first time I watched it, first couple of times I was watching Humphrey. You know what I mean?
Oh, of
Then
course.
I go,
Yeah.
I gotta watch her. And you're like, oh, when he says something and she knows she's got a sly little movement of her eye or something like that. There, it was really in great character. By the way, what did you think of the acting? Did you think it was over the top?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh my
I
God.
don't even notice that. I'm so
Oh
into this kind of acting. I love it,
yeah.
man. I know it's a little caricature with Gutman and Peter Lorre, but
Oh my Lord. And Bogart's just one long run-on sentence. He's got,
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
all he needs.
he's cranking out 3 movies a year. He's like, let's just go. He's just, I mean, just no pauses, no breaks.
And he's the same character in every one of them.
Oh, I bet. I can imagine. Yes, I thought it was over the top, but I also was like, oh, this is kind of what started this archetype. And like I said, I was along for the ride. It didn't bother me.
Yeah,
I definitely
you
noticed
know
it.
what it is? I guess because everybody's a little elevated, the world
Yeah,
makes sense. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Like my thing is like, as long as the character believes it, I'm cool with it. I don't really have to believe it as long as I believe the character does. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is just that
That's
world.
actually a
Okay.
great way of putting it. You know, it's funny. I forgot to mention this, but Mary Astor, she won the Academy Award that year for a different movie. It was called
Oh,
The Big Lie. I've never seen it, but
oh,
she
I
she
did
won
see
the
that.
Academy Award for supporting
Mhm.
actress that same year as the Maltese Falcon.
Yeah, because they were
So
cranking out 3, 4 movies a year. It
yeah.
was unbelievable.
Oh,
Now a show takes 6 years in between 5 episode seasons, and back then they're just ripping movies left and right. Yeah, it was crazy.
exactly. Well, plus also though, a lot of movies back then, I mean, there was no on location. You're
Oh,
right there in the Warner
stage.
Brother lot,
Oh yeah, yeah, for
So
sure.
that made it. But and I even like that. I love that. You can tell it sets. I don't care, man. I
Yeah.
just
Oh
love it,
yeah.
man. I
Yep.
don't. I love just immersing myself in that old world. Going,
Oh
man,
yeah.
what it would have been like to been there back then. You know.
Wild times for
Uh,
sure. And then yeah.
and so then she like you said, the $500. He takes it. And then he's back in his office.
Oh yeah.
Effie comes in with that card and he sniffs
Hmm.
it. I think it was gardenia.
Yeah.
And then Cairo comes in. By the way, what a great name, Joel Cairo.
Yeah.
Oh man. Now keep in mind, you probably noticed this, but in the book, that character was gay, and
Yeah. Okay.
they couldn't really put that on screen, obviously, in 1941. But if you watch Peter Lorre, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It's
but
subtle.
also the card with a scent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was honestly not all that subtle. I'm surprised they put just enough in there to not get like you know
The
thoughts.
MPAA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You know what I mean? The Hays Code or whatever. But I mean, he was really flamboyant. But anyhow, Cairo, he enters and you're like, you got to be going, where is this movie going? What's happening?
Dude, this is a wild scene. I mean, this he's staring at his cane. He's all super weird. We're smelling business cards, I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, where this scene goes, it was amazing. This is great.
Well, it's funny because, like I said, I've been watching these movies so long. This is like normal for me, but I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. Seeing him come in with that accent and the way
Hmm.
he talks and then, and that little pistol. I love how
Oh,
in old movies, though. By the way, it's just great because whenever they needed to all they have to do is punch somebody once, and they're knocked out unconscious just for as long as they need them to be until they need them to come back for the scene.
dude, I had the exact same note. He barely just jabbed him out cold, bleeding,
Yeah,
lets him do his thing, and
and
then the
then
guy
comes to.
and he's like totally fine with it. He's like, anyway, where were we? Like,
Yeah,
just
he
goes
goes,
on with. He's not mad about it.
look what you did to my. He's more concerned with his shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's not like, I'm gonna kick your ass. He's just like, anyway, so where were we with the Falcon? I'm just like, what is going on here?
I actually
Uh,
thought that they made this scene funny on purpose, so just for the comic relief of it all. Because
yeah.
at the very end, he goes, "Can I have my gun back?" And he goes, "I'm going to." Okay, go ahead and check it.
Oh,
It's
when he did it again, I mean, I was laughing out loud at parts of this. I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was
this is.
I just thought that was phenomenal, man. I could
Oh
watch
yeah.
and those two, Humphrey Bogart and Peter Lorre and Sidney Greenstreet reunited 2 years later for Casablanca. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
And
I did see all that.
I
Yeah.
think Greenstreet and Peter Lorre, I think they ended up doing 9 movies together, and I'm pretty sure Laurie and Sidney Greenstreet did 3 with Humphrey Bogart. So they all, like you said, cranking out movies and all working together.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That scene was classic, though. I was
Uh,
like, oh, this is.
the first the Joel Cairo, man, one of my favorite
Yep.
characters of all time. One of my
No,
favorite
he was
characters
great.
of all time. He's just
Yeah.
phenomenal. Give the bun back, and then Spade talk. Oh, and then Spade's tailed by Wilmer, And he's,
Yep.
you know, he goes to the thing and inside, and he goes around and laughs his way off. You know, Spade's got it all, man. He's a superhero. That was a
Yep.
cool scene, though, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And back to O'Shaughnessy. Oh, so then this is when he starts getting. Then he goes back to see O'Shaughnessy at her place,
Mhm.
and this is when he starts going, "You aren't exactly the type of person you pretend to be." This is when he lets her know, "Come on, I'm onto
Yeah.
you, girl.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Tell me
Come
what's going
on."
on here.
Yeah,
Yep.
and this is
I'm on to you.
when I don't even right now. I don't know who knows what or who's they're both playing games.
Oh,
You
the
know?
plot was all over the place for me at times, and I was just like, I don't care. This is entertaining. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm in. Like,
Dude, first time I watched, same thing. I'm like, I'm
yeah.
digging this. I'm digging the wisecracks. I don't know who's
Yep.
guilty, who's not. I don't
Yep.
really care. I guess we'll
Nope.
find out.
Yep. Yeah, I was the same way. I was like, whatever. Let's just do it. Like, it was
And
great.
as I think about it now, at this point right here, when he's talking to O'Shaughnessy right here, and he's like, "Oh, you're good, you're good." He's doing all that stuff with her. I'm wondering if he knows, Sam Spade knows right now that she's the one who killed Miles. I have a
Mm,
feeling that he did, and if he didn't
yeah.
know for sure, he certainly suspected her
Yeah.
all along,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he just wants to find out where's this going, and he's just going to play the game the whole way through to find out where is this going. You
Yeah.
know,
How can I make the most amount of money out of this? Where, like, he's always trying to find
yeah.
the angle.
What's the
Always,
yeah? It's a game. It's an angle, and he's playing
yeah.
it. This is what he does. You
He's the
know.
best at it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
He outgamed everybody at the end,
Oh,
which is great. And then you're good. You're very good. I like these. Some of these lines are just fantastic.
oh, outstanding.
And he mentions Joel Cairo, that he saw Joel Cairo, and that's when she
Yep.
panics.
Yep.
That's when she gets up, starts stoking the fire, looking around. That's when he's like, "All right, what's going on with you?
Hmm.
You want to sit down and tell me what's really going on?" And then
Yep.
she
Yep.
wouldn't. She goes. That's when she admits that she lied, and then
Yep.
she goes, "I'm sorry, I lied." And me personally, she admitted she lied, and she goes, "But I didn't. I still believe what she was saying now." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how
I mean,
good she was.
it's great as like I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know who to trust here, really. Like, like you want to go with Bogart, but she's holding her own against him. And there's
Absolutely.
enough like keeping you off balance where you're like, shit, I don't know. All right, here we go.
I think if you polled like 100 people who saw this for the first time, like halfway through, I think every one of them would go, "I don't know what the fuck's going on."
Oh, I had no clue. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Yeah, like I said, I've watched it 4 times in the last 2 years or so, and so I know what's going on. Even I'm going picture myself for the first time, hearing all this back and forth of what's going on. Just like it's fat, but like you said, you're just enjoying the characters at this point.
Oh yeah, characters were great.
Yeah, I will say it merits a repeat watching though, because you'll start picking up on stuff you didn't maybe notice the last time
I
or the
bet.
first
Yeah.
time. Yeah, and you say, "Oh yeah, I see that now. Oh, I see where they did this. Blah 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 blah."
Right.
Space sees Wilbur down below. Cairo shows up. She's still having it, and this is when they start talking about the fat man, and they start giving some exposition, just what's going on, what is this thing, what's I think I have it in my notes here too, like at certain times in the movie they stop and they explain what's going on up to here for us,
Yeah.
somebody, whether it's the fat man, they explain what the Falcon is, where it came from. It's not
Hmm.
still not completely sensical, but they at least let us sort of try to catch up. They
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like in the movie, almost time wise. Like we're 40 minutes at I took down the time, 40-minute mark. Spade explains what's going on. They all corroborate, and this is when they corroborated against the cops. Remember when the cops came to his
Uh.
door, and all of a sudden he lets out a yell, and they go into his
Yep.
apartment, and
Oh,
then
that scene was out of control too. I mean, they're just fucking with the cops, pretending to punch each
but
other.
also she's hitting him,
I
like
know.
Cairo.
Yeah, she's
She's
kicking
playing
him in front of the cops.
exactly. That's what I
Yeah,
noticed the second time. Oh my gosh, she kicked him.
yeah. Oh, they judo chop each other. I mean, it was the cop. It
It
was
was
out of he's bleeding, but it's all
yeah.
just a ruse. I mean,
Exactly. Well, that's the thing with what I noticed again is like Spade Spade like starts, song and dancing these cops, and they realize what he's doing, and so they join in.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
they all work together, like let's
Hmm.
get these guys out here so we can get back to what we're doing. And
Right, right.
so they all kind of work together on that, which I thought was really cool. Shaughnessy and Spade left. Spade wants answers. What's this Falcon? They finally explain what the Falcon is. They offered her, 500 pounds to get away. It was interesting because the whole thing with the Falcon is it's a MacGuffin. You ever heard the term
Yeah.
MacGuffin? You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Yeah,
Red
exactly.
herring, all that
Hitchcock,
stuff.
I think, coined the phrase, but that's what this is.
Mm.
The whole thing. It never really ends up being anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
whole thing, the name of the movie, and it's really, it's funny. Off side note, the I think there was several of the original props, and one of them came up for auction. We're probably talking 20 some years ago. Came up for auction, and in Beverly Hills, they were hoping to get $1 million for it. And some guy was at this is in Beverly Hills. Some guy was in the bidding live, and they had a guy phone bidding, going against each other. It went up to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 3.5 million. And then the guy on the phone bought it for $4 million. They were hoping to get $1 million for it. Bought it for $4 million. It was Steve Wynn.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, from Vegas. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess it sat in his villa in Vegas for years. The one of the original props, $4 million. At that time, it was one of the most expensive movie props ever sold. And the only thing at the time that competed with it were actual cars. Like I think Steve
Wow.
McQueen's car, something like that. So like actually something that's big and worth something anyhow. So this is like, major. It's considered one of the 2 or 3 most famous movie props of all time, along with Dorothy's slippers.
Slippers. Yeah, I knew that
Yeah.
was a big one too. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
never been in an auction, but I feel like if I'm in an auction and there's a guy on the phone, I'm gonna lose that auction.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm like, they got a phone. This guy's not even here. Like, I'm gonna lose this.
Exactly. And not only that, it's probably not even him on the phone. It's probably his guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Just get it. Just get it.
Just
Exactly.
no limit. Just have him ship it.
Exactly. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Let's see. So there's so many scenes here, just back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
Hotel. I'm trying to think if there's any like more scenes where you're like, oh, this moment right here. Well, they go to the hotel and he mocks Wilmer right to his face, calls that guy over, and then he sees Cairo all disheveled. He was at the police, and Cairo at this point is like, I just went out. Leave me alone.
He's been run ragged. This poor guy. He's so over it. Yeah.
And he just looks at, man. I could watch Peter Lorre on this movie all day. I'm telling you, he just cracks me up every time he's on screen. Let's see here. Oh, so then finally they go to the office and Gutman called, and finally we get to this guy that we've heard about. And O'Shaughnessy, someone was in my apartment. Asks if Evie can put her up. And Evie.
Oh, dude.
Well, this is one thing where I go, because Evie, obviously she's established as smart. She gets it. She knows Spade. But the fact that even she did not see through O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah.
Remember, she goes, what do you think about this girl? Seems not, you know what I mean? I'm like, she even had her fooled. A woman didn't see her. I was surprised looking back again, like that Effie didn't go, well, do you want the truth? Something like that. But obviously you couldn't for the movie or for the book. But I'm surprised that she fooled Effie too, or.
Yeah. No. And but again, classic Sam, like, hey, just put her up for a few days, babe. I'll be back.
Exactly.
She's like, yeah, I'm on it. I was like, man.
And obviously you couldn't talk to your secretary like in today's world. So it's like so patronizing. But when it's Humphrey Bogart somehow, when I was watching, like, you remember that you're going to take these slaps and you're going to like it. He was delivering those lines. The only other guy, in my opinion, in the history of cinema who's ever been able to deliver lines along that and be believable and not hokey is Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood. Go ahead, make my day. Yeah. It wasn't until him that these are the only two who were ever, because it's Humphrey Bogart, man. He can say whatever the hell he wants to.
He has so many great lines.
It's nonstop. It's nonstop. Yeah.
Like at the hotel, the one guy's like, you better shove off. And he's like, people lose teeth for talking like that. Like, he just told him to shove off. And then he's like, hey, people lose teeth for talking like that.
And he's never rattled by it. The guy puts a gun in his thing. He just laughs it off.
Yep.
He's the greatest, man. So Gutman calls. Then they go to Gutman's. Wilmer answers the door. Oh, yep. Now, this is interesting because Wilmer, his character in the book, also him and Gutman are gay. They're like,
okay.
And Wilmer is his boy.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And if there's little scenes where you can sort of tell, but they for the Hays Code and all that, they couldn't show it. But I noticed a few things watching this time. So they walk in. Gutman immediately pours him a drink.
Yeah.
which comes into play later. Gutman
Yeah.
wants to know now. I will say this: I don't know. I even right now, as I say it, I don't know why Gutman thinks Spade has the
Yep.
bird.
That's in my notes too. Yeah.
Is it? Do you think it's because Shaughnessy brought it to him or told him where it is, or
Or
I
maybe he's just the guy that seems like would know where it is. He's the number
or
one
how to get it,
PI.
or yeah,
Yeah, like he's the guy in San Francisco you go to when you need something. Like he's the best PI around. Yeah, I didn't get that either. And then
yeah.
he
Because
just
I'm going, why does he think he's got it, and why is he
yeah
able to fool them and say I've got it or I can get? I to this day I don't. It's another movie that maybe we'll tackle way down the way. The Big Sleep. Have you ever heard of The Big Sleep?
yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Heard the name. It's another one. It's another Bogart movie. He's playing another detective, just like Sam Spade, but Philip Marlowe. But it was written by Raymond Chandler. You think this
Okay.
movie's confusing, dude? That movie, like you're done. You're going, wait, what happened? Wait,
Right.
what happened? But anyhow, they said when they were writing that movie, The Big Sleep, they called Raymond Chandler, the screenwriters, because they were trying to piece it all together. And they go, hey, so who killed the chauffeur? He goes, how should I know? That's Raymond Chandler, the guy who wrote it. He didn't even know.
Oh yeah.
That's
Um,
hilarious, man. Yeah.
there's another. I know we're getting a little off topic here, but during the filming of Inception, which maybe we'll do. Have you seen Inception?
Long time ago.
Okay, during the
Christopher Nolan,
filming,
right? Yeah.
yeah, they were on set for they were like 2 months into filming, and at one point, apparently, DiCaprio looked at the rest of the cast and went, "Does anybody have any idea what's going on?" And the whole cast went, "No clue." And they went, "Okay." They just kept shooting it. Like,
Let's
all
just
right,
go.
like,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
Christopher Nolan. We'll figure it out as we go.
sure,
I remember
yep,
the actor that really impressed me in that movie was obviously not DiCaprio. I've never been a huge DiCaprio fan. I can take him or leave him, to be honest with you.
yep.
He's one of those guys more of a celebrity than an actor to me, kind of like Cruise. But who was the Gordon Hewitt? What's his name? Or
Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
yeah, George.
Yeah,
I thought, oh my God, this guy is so good. I don't know what it is, but certain times actors just impress me where they're like a natural. Like that was so natural. It didn't even seem like acting. And that I just remember specifically that movie, how good that guy was. So then anyhow, Spade, you know what it is. I know where it is. Spade's getting mad and he kept referring to Elijah Cook Jr. of Vilmer as get this gunsel out of here. And I'm like, what's a gunsel? So I looked it up.
yeah.
It is basically it's like a damsel, a male version of a damsel. It is basically like
Oh,
it's like his kept boy. It's a gay term that they inserted in and it got past the codes. But he says it a couple times. Get this
wow.
gunsel out of here. Yeah, it's like a male damsel, like damsel in distress, a gunsel.
That's a
So
that's a hard diss in the 40s then.
yeah, I'm just saying, sneaky little thing. But
Yeah.
then Sam Spade, he yells and he gets out and then he walks out and he laughs and you're like, oh man, he's playing these suckers.
Yep,
I
yep, yep.
love Sam Spade.
Yeah, I was confused too. He like breaks a glass and gets pissed out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck's going on now? And then he's laughing in the hallway, and I'm like, just trust Sam.
And
Sam
I'm
knows what's
like,
going on.
yeah. When I first saw it, I had no idea what's going on. But I'm like, oh, what he's doing, he's getting these guys. He wants them to play their hand. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go. What do you got?
Yep.
What do you got? And it makes him seem more believable to them.
Yeah.
So then he's at the DA's office asking him, "Did you kill Thursby?" Spade puts them in there. Spade puts him in their place. He starts talking again. He's at the DA's office and he's explaining everything. Going on and on. Remember, he turns to the stenographer. You getting out of that? I might go too
Yep.
quick for you. Just a smart
Yep.
aleck.
Yep.
But he's doing this for our benefit, catching us
Right.
all up on what's going on.
Yep. In a
Which
cool
is
and clever way, actually. I was like, oh, that's a
absolutely.
clever way to do that. Like, okay,
Mhm.
exposition that's not over the top. You know.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally. It was within the movie. It wasn't forced or anything.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm just picturing you going, "Oh, this acting's over the top." This acting is so natural to me because I'm so used to watching these movies.
I
Oh,
gotta
that was
say, by
great.
the end of it, it just kind of seemed normal. Um,
Exactly, dude. That's what I'm telling you, bro. That's what's gonna
yeah.
happen. You start
Was
watching these
that
black and
taught
whites.
in was that taught? I just couldn't. The whole time I was thinking, is this in an acting class where you sign up for acting class and they teach you to talk like this, like the see, like, and I was like, this is I had so many questions about it.
Well,
So many
now
thoughts.
that the affect and all that, that's just like a characterization, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, totally.
you should see the 1931 movie. Every the Sam Spade character, and he had a pretty good career. This guy Cortez, I think his name was, pretty good acting career. You know, silent movies into this talkies, but like
Mhm.
every other line was "say." Did you say no, 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 no. Say? What's up with it? You
Oh,
know, say,
geez.
a lot of that say
Hmm.
stuff. It was really, really. Oh, side note, or we should have said this when we were talking about the cast. Again, you know me, I watch all these old movies and I love them, and I even like the acting. George Raft, maybe a name you haven't heard of because he, you know, wasn't
Mm.
at one time he was famous, but he was offered this. He was like that sort of he was kind of a gangster in real lifey kind of, you know.
Okay.
But he was a very successful actor in the 30s and maybe a little bit in the 40s, but he turned down several roles that went to Bogart that made Bogart a star.
Oh,
He was
wow.
he was offered this role as Sam Spade, but he didn't want he refused it because he didn't want to work with a first time director, John Huston.
Mm.
And so went to, and this was the first time that Bogart officially became like a superstar, like led the movie.
Right.
Prior to this, he would play gangsters or, you know, kind of hard
Yeah.
guys, but he was like second, third, fourth build.
Mhm.
Um,
I saw you had some random TV episodes peppered in kind of early on, and then
yeah.
after this, it looked like it just went
Well, this,
just
and then 2 years
nuclear.
later,
Yeah.
Casablanca, and he's gold.
Sure.
He's the
Yep.
guy. But what I was going to say about George Raft is, dude, you know, I mean, I like all this acting. It's not over the top to me at all because I'm so used to it. George Raft is the worst actor I've ever seen in my entire life. Even for this era, he is
Okay.
so outrageously not real and not believable
All right. I'm gonna look him up.
that it takes you completely out, man. I'm telling you, he's just, and he never took an acting class or anything like that. He was, you know, it's just, but he is so bad that it's like, even in that era, it was bad. So thank God he turned it down and we got Bogart for this.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna look him up then.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta see what's bad
George
for this
Raft.
era.
Yeah, oh, he's so terrible. Let's see here. So then he goes. So then he runs into Wilmer on the street, and
Yep.
now
Yep.
they've made their mind back to Gutman's. So his plan worked. Get him to show
Yeah.
their cards.
Yep. Yep.
So now they're back there, but then immediately pours him a drink
Mm.
again. You know.
Mhm.
So the first time was a setup. This time, so this is part of the deal. He's
Yep.
drinking. And then he explains the bird. So now we get the whole
Yep.
exposition on the bird, which is really helpful for us. Catch us
Yep.
all up.
Had a cool
Is
little story. Yeah.
Yep, Istanbul, all that stuff, and then he's making him the offer 25K, and then he spikes his drink because they already know the boat is coming in, the La Paloma. So they're
Yep.
sort of, so at this particular point, they're sort of outfoxing Spade in a
Yeah.
way. And so they, you
Well,
know,
what I love too, classic Spade. He Gutman's like, how much did he offer you for the Falcon? And he goes 10 grand, but it was
yeah,
only 5 grand.
yeah,
You know, I'm like, this guy, he's always on,
he's playing it,
always
man.
finding that angle. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then of course Wilmer kicks him when he's down.
Yep.
And
Oh,
then
cheap
when
shot.
they're all leaving, it's I noticed this just this last time I watch it. The music is really cool when he
Hmm.
passes out, and now it's just got really dark, like a real
Yeah.
dark tone. And it's
Yep.
this dun, 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 what a kind of music, really cool scene as they, because you know the Gutman, he's all laughing, you know, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
when he gets that serious face,
Hmm.
it's dark, and it was
Yeah.
like really
Oh, yeah.
cool him to see the dark side of him. He's got that guy's face just was made for movies.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the other thing. Some of the camera angles when they're talking and like he's talking and he's like shot from down below and he's big and he's talking. Then they cut to him listening and he's like this Gutman. He just
Yeah.
he's listening all serious. It's fascinating. He's just good. It was the directing on this and the shot selection was just literally perfect. And
Yeah.
like I said, the music. So now we got the La Paloma. It's on fire. Back to the
Hmm.
office, and then Evie's bandaging him up, and then the captain stumbles in.
Yeah.
And by the way, do you know who played the captain, the actor? Walter Houston, John Houston's father.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, little cameo in there. And he actually John Houston directed Walter Houston in, I think it was High Sierra. He won an Academy Award for, The Treasure of the Sierra
Sierra.
Madre.
Yeah,
He
okay. I've
directed
heard
him
of
in
that one. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of
another
it.
Bogart movie, a great movie.
Mhm.
But he directed his son, directed his father, and his father won the Academy Award for that. So John Huston got a lot of people awards, it seems like.
Damn.
Um, so then they're in the office. Falcon, let's see, your captain stumbles in. This is the other thing that even now I don't get. How
Yeah.
did I don't know if they fully explained it. How did he get and why did she send him to the office? Why did Shaughnessy send him to Spade's office? Why not
Yeah,
just
I don't
take it
know.
for herself and run or go?
Yeah. I didn't get that at all either.
Okay, I'm still not certain on that, but hey, we just go with it.
Yeah, don't
You
overthink
know?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. And so he puts the mail thing on it, sends it off, and then he taxis off to see O'Shaughnessy. Oh, taxis off to see O'Shaughnessy.
Yep.
She sends him on a wild goose chase. This
Yeah,
lot
yep, yep.
back in the car, calls Evie and waiting. Spade, Shaughnessy waiting, needs to. Oh, then he goes back. Shaughnessy's waiting there for him. Then they go up and they're all in the room together. And here we are. It's an hour and 13 in. We're all in the room together for the
The
last time.
showdown.
Yeah,
Yep, yep. Here comes
absolutely.
the showdown.
Yep.
Finally.
I mean, think about it. This movie was an hour 40 something. And the
Yep.
last 30 minutes almost were in one room.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah, that's
brilliant.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you didn't think it wasn't. We did the Black Swan last month. That was
Yeah.
about the same amount of time, an hour 40. Dude, I was dreading. I was dreading. Can this ever be over? I was never
Yeah.
once looking at my clock during this movie. Never
No,
once.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Uh so Guntman gives him Spider. We need okay, so they need the fall guy. Again,
Yeah.
so you looking at it now, he's got the fall guy. Do you think Spade was just playing them all this entire time?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, yes, totally. But I think the reason that he took Wilmer as the fall guy was just a little like, oh, you kicked me when I'm down. You and I have had some run-ins. Like, this is my final kind of like I win revenge. You're gonna take the fall for all this. But yeah, I think he was playing them the entire time.
Yeah, well, because remember he went over to the girl. He went over to Shaughnessy. He said, "Well, we could take if you want to, like, you could take her. We could use her as the fall
Hmm.
guy too." It's like,
Yeah.
but this is when he's playing the card because they know they can't mess with him because he's got the bird. They
Right.
need the remember. He's like Cairo's like we have you, but you can't do anything. I have the bird.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
never know
So
where the bird is. It'll be lost forever if you guys even touch me. So,
yeah.
that's the trump card right there.
Yep.
So at this point, though, in this room, I'm the only thing that I think surprised Spade was that it was fake. Because if you look at his face
Yeah.
when it's
Yeah.
being open, he was like surprised that it was fake too. He didn't give a
Yeah.
shit, obviously, but he was surprised. But when that was the thing I was gonna say. So remember when he gives the 10,000, he
Yep.
gives it to her, and then she goes, "I'm gonna go make some coffee." And better bring the money, better leave the money here. And
Yep.
then
Yep.
and
Yep.
then there's only 9,000.
Yep.
Remember?
Oh yeah. You
And
palmed it.
Gutman goes, "You took $1,000. You took 1,000. You took a bill." And he goes in to talk to Shaughnessy, and he just goes, whatever, says to her, and she didn't say anything. She just looks and shakes her head. That was the one really truly believable moment where you're like, oh, she's actually not lying right now.
Right.
She didn't say a word. She just shook her head. In the movie, the 1931 movie, pre-code, um, in that scene, he goes into the kitchen, like they're in a different room, so they can't see each other. And
Yeah.
they don't show it, obviously, but he makes her completely undress, tells her to undress so he can make
Whoa.
sure she doesn't have the $100 bill on him. So that was
Oh wow.
pre-code. Yeah. So obviously here they had to just,
Damn.
move forward with it. But yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
little bit different. And
Whoa.
we forgot, but what one time previously, when she was at the office with him, I think it was after Cairo left, and she was crying and all that stuff. And then she lays down on this is her last. Now she's going to sleep with him. This is all I got left. You know what I mean? So,
Oh yeah. Last shit. Hail Mary.
yeah,
Yeah. We're
exactly. So
throwing
now
it
we're
out
back.
here.
So that we forgot to bring that up in one of the previous scenes, but so now they're all in there. They're just going back and forth, and at this point, even go through every single nuance, it doesn't even matter. But
Yeah.
I'm like, even right now, I go, what did he know at this point? At this point, he had to know she killed. Well, I think, he Spade knew everything except for the
Yeah.
fact that it was fake. I don't think he expected that. I don't think he cared that much. I think no matter what, he was going to get them out of there. He was going to call the cops on them. He knew Wilmer killed 2 people,
Yep.
and he also knew she killed. I think he knew it the whole time that they're in this room. And now he's just playing, how do I get this all? Remember, he kept $1,000 for my trouble, and then he turned it over
Yeah.
as evidence.
Yep.
You know,
Also, were those $1,000 bills?
I
He
guess
was like,
so,
it was $1,000. It was like paper thin. I was like, did they have $1,000 bills back then? Pretty cool,
Yeah,
but,
I know exactly, right?
Yeah.
10, yeah. It's funny when they were talking about millions, for
Yeah.
I didn't realize they used that term.
Yeah,
Millions.
that would have.
That seems like it would be almost like talking about trillions in today.
That's what I mean. That's like, yeah, I was like, I was blown away. And Sam's just cool as hell. He's like, oh, like $1 million, huh? That's a lot. So I'm like, what?
Exactly. Nothing phases that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
Mhm.
You know what I love when he starts carving the bird.
Yeah.
Then Cairo just lays into the gut, man.
Oh, he flipped. I have that in
Goes
my notes
off
too.
on him, and then 5 seconds later, like, I'll go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're just like, fuck it, man. Let's go to Istanbul and keep it going.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Oh, yeah, that was great. I have that in my notes too. He starts crying. He passes out on the couch almost. And he's like, yeah, fuck it. Pull the car around. All right.
Yeah. Shall we go? I'll go.
The other part I love about that scene too is whenever he's like, look, I got the bird. You can't do anything to me. And they make the deal or whatever. And he's like, we better not let anybody out of each other's sight until daylight when I can get the bird. 4 minutes later, they're like, well, it's almost time. He's like, yeah, you're right. Picks up the phone and calls.
And there was no like dissolve or
it was just like
a clock fix, where how they dissolve a clock into like 4 hours later or something.
No, like hint of sunrise through the window. It was like 3 minutes later.
I think they did at least do one dissolve where they're all just kind of sleeping and he's reading.
Oh,
but
maybe,
still,
okay.
but like you said, it was weird because I think it was almost 30 seconds of utter silence just watching them sit.
Oh, okay.
You know, just like, I'm like, this would never happen in today's movies.
Oh, no. It was so funny.
It was gripping how they, got it. And then, she, of course, Effie right there with the bird, piece of cake.
Yep.
And then, I mean, he, like I said, Wilmer leaves, he escapes. And then they leave. And I think this is all part of Spade's plan. I'm just wondering if the bird was real, he would have done the exact same thing, although he wouldn't have returned the money. Maybe he just would have probably turned the 10,000 over to the cops. But he was setting these guys up the whole time. As soon as they leave, I'm calling the cops. You guys are down here. He's over there. Go get him.
Yep.
And then he's left with O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah.
Just the 2 of them. And this is when you're like, uh-oh. So
where are we going here?
Yeah. Exactly.
Where's the bird? Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're without moreover, when he finally just, he finally gets serious. Or like, look, man, you got 5 minutes. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he wants her to just tell, because he already knows. Just admit it. Yeah. I know you killed him. You know?
Yeah. And it's one of my favorite lines in the whole movie. He's like, you'll get life, but with good behavior, you'll be out in 20 years and I'll be waiting for you.
Yeah, exactly.
If they hang you, I'll always remember you.
Exactly.
It's like,
they hang you with that pretty little neck or something like that. Yeah. He doesn't give a shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you love me and maybe I love you. Like it, you don't know. You just can't get anything off this guy. You can't get a read. He doesn't give enough. He gives what he needs, and this is the world he lives in. I said, even when Miles died, he goes, "Hey, tough break, but this is what we do. This is I almost feel like that's exactly how he thinks about it. Hey, this happens in our world, and we move on."
But he did have like the redemptive little not monologue, but the one part where he's like, when your partner's killed, no matter what, you have to stand up for him.
Yes.
You have to, so they did give him some redemption for yeah, get his name off the glass, get back to work, like, which I thought was cool. Or, he's
Yeah.
like that is how the world is, but I still got to do my job here.
Well, it shows that he has his code. He may
Yeah,
do a lot of crazy things, but at the end of the day, he even giving the $1,000 to the cops, he probably
yeah,
didn't need to, but here,
yeah,
this was for a bribe. Like I did my thing, I got what I needed, and go get them, and and it
yeah,
just shows, he's got morals, he's got standards, and all that kind of stuff. So in that respect, I thought it was a nice. It gave us a little. Oh, we like this guy, Spade.
right.
He is a dude, and and he, like I said, it finally did stand up for his partner at the end, which is nice to see because they didn't establish any
Yeah,
reason they wouldn't like each other.
yeah. Well, he may or may not have been sleeping with his wife. I mean, you
Yeah,
never
but
know with
that's a,
Sam.
but still, why would he not like
Yeah,
yeah, it was the weird thing, but like you said, no matter what goes on, he plays by the rules, and he wants it all fair. You
yeah, and
know,
they gave him a
He-
nice redemptive kind of arc at the end there, which I thought was great.
yeah, and then they take her, and then he goes, "What's this? That the stuff the dreams are made of?" And then obviously the elevator. Now she's behind bars,
Yep,
and
yep.
as she's descending down, he's going down, and just a fantastic ending. You know,
Yeah,
so it's like
yeah.
like we were talking about. Was there ever a moment in the movie where you were like getting a little, oh, this is dragging?
No, not at all.
Yeah, me neither, man. Me neither. And that's
It,
for a movie of this long ago. That's pretty impressive.
oh, 100%. Uh, there was definitely times where I didn't know what the hell was going on, but again, I just didn't care. I was like, it's very entertaining. The
Yeah,
pace of it was one of my favorite things about it. It was just
I
like, again,
I couldn't agree more.
five
There was
seconds into the movie,
they
we're up and
like it.
running.
Yeah, they whatever they say, trim the fat, get the fat
Yeah,
out. Just
yeah,
there was not a wasted moment in this movie. Nothing.
yeah,
On to the next, on to the next, into this, onto that, over there.
yeah,
Just a fabulous movie. Oh,
yeah.
I forgot to look up. I want to look up what the I am not the IMDb, what the Rotten Tomatoes score is for the
Ooh,
Maltese Falcon. All
ooh.
right, so give me what you think the critics and the audience. What do you think?
Man, I bet the critics is I'm gonna say 97 for the critics. Audience, oh, that's hard because I'll go. I'm gonna go 85 audience, 97 critic.
Pretty damn close, man. 99% critics. I don't know why this wouldn't be 100, honestly. 99% critics and 91% audience. 50,000 ratings by the
Holy
audience
hell!
and 111 critic reviews. So
Wow.
pretty good.
I thought
I
I
would
was
have thought this would
going.
be 100% by the
Yeah.
critics.
Does it go to 100%?
I think so. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
one of the few movies that has 100%. My personal favorite, L.A. Confidential.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a great one.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um, I thought 85 might have been too high for the audience score, but they were
yeah,
even higher. That's
yeah.
crazy.
I agree because of the age of the movie, a lot of people just
Yeah.
are taken aback by the black and white, some of the over the top character stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty high for an audience
That's
thing
what I thought too.
for
Yeah.
that many reviews,
Yeah.
50,000 reviews, incredible.
Wow,
It's interesting that
99.
some of the
Mm.
it's that the actress Mary Astor. I look up all the actors and actresses, their lives and stuff. She had a very interesting life. I don't
Mm.
we don't need to go on and on about it, but she where do I have it here? Mary Astor, yeah. Hold on. Mary Astor. She had like some scandals. She was like she was silent movie queen, and then she had a major custody case with her husband, and it led to some really bad publicity. But then she came out of that, and I forget what. I don't want to go on. Yeah, anybody can Wikipedia. But if you want an interesting life of a just a person, she had a very interesting life. Long career, very long career. And Elijah
Yeah.
Cook Jr. Interesting. He had like a marriage. I think it was like 19 years, and they divorced for 2 years, then remarried for another like 17 years. That's interesting. So he was
Yeah,
an interesting cat too.
they just had to just just 2 years. I need a 2-year break. Then we're back at it. I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's hard to believe 2 years after this. I mean, this movie is like untouchable, and then 2 years later, Humphrey, Sydney, and Lori all do Casablanca and even up the game.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
unbelievable. The trio of those two, not back to back, but it's like right there. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
So,
It's a hell of a run.
so this is considered again like the first film noir, in
Yep.
my opinion. A lot of people consider it the best. By the way, this is one of the first 25 movies to be put into the where they what did they preservation, to be preserved.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Okay.
one of the first uh what's it called here? It's one of the first for the National Film Registry, the Library of Congress. This is one of the first 25 movies to be put in there.
Wow.
So historic, absolute historic movie. So, is this the first black and white movie you've watched in maybe a decade?
I mean, probably longer.
Wow, really? It's incredible.
I mean, I can't. Besides, maybe It's a Wonderful Life clips around Christmas time. You know
Sure,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Start to finish.
yeah, start to finish. Yeah, I'd say at least a decade.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
as Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, you just took a small step into a much larger world.
yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
So what do you get?
definitely has me interested for some other ones for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would think so. Just these, like you said, you put a face and a name, like, oh, this is Humphrey Bogart. Oh, this is how he is. You gotta
yeah.
admit, man, he's fun to watch, dude. You know what I
Oh
mean? He's
yeah,
fucking fun as fuck, man.
dude. Like
You know?
the original, I don't give a fuck. Kind of just
Exactly. He's got a
I'm here
retort
for a
for
good time.
everything, man. I love that. Not rattled by anybody, you know.
Yeah.
Even when
Oh yeah.
when he passed out, he goes, so that's when you guys gave me the, you sons of
Yeah, that's when
bitches.
you
You know?
poisoned me. Whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't give a shit, man. It's he understands it's the world I live in, and I'm gonna take a few lumps now and then, but I'm gonna come out on top, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much what he does. All right, so I think we got any final notes on the movie itself?
No, there were so many great lines. I have a list of them. I'm obviously not going to go through them all, but like, yeah, this. Oh, he does say one of my favorite all time lines where he goes, "Oh, is that when you slipped me a Mickey?" Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like so classic. This
That's the scene
dizzy
we were just talking about.
affair. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You just like how they talked. Some of it, I was like, man, I really like this kind of language and dialogue and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, no
It was
way. You know
great.
what? Now that you mentioned it, when one of mine was when when he goes to see Shaughnessy at her place, and she's admitting that she lied. He goes, "We didn't believe you anyhow.
Yeah,
We believe your $200." You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Basically, we believe your $200, and basically I forget what he said, but he said that alone told us that this isn't true. You're overpaying us because we know you're lying. But we don't care. We
yeah.
like money, basically. That
And
was
there
a
was
great
another
line.
great line about I don't trust a man who knows when to stop drinking because that means he knows what happens when he keeps going or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. And I was
Yeah,
just like,
no,
wow, this is great.
Green Street had some great lines too when they were just talking. And the way
Yeah,
I know it seems a little caricature now with all his his
yeah,
laughing and all that stuff, but it did fit the role. He fit the
totally.
role, the whole thing. And he was able to deliver those lines and make it seem completely natural for his character.
Yeah.
So
No, it was yeah. What a good call. Great call on this one because I probably would have never watched it to be honest.
yeah, man. Like I said, I was watching it again and I'm going, this might be my favorite cast, start to finish. I'm talking everybody, every single
Hmm.
character. The two cops,
Yeah,
the sergeant. They were perfect. Everybody was just perfect in this movie. And
yeah,
see, like I said, it bears repeated watchings because you'll notice things you didn't pick up on the first time, and you appreciate it again. I'm telling you,
I,
even though you know
yeah.
what happened.
I'm pissed. I only rented it and didn't just buy it on Amazon.
Yeah,
I
right.
just I didn't know what to expect, so I just rented it. And I'm like, shit, should have just
Yeah, it's one
paid
of
the
those ones you
extra
want to
ten
keep every
bucks and
now and
bought
then.
it.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I think we could put a wrap on this one. That was pretty
yeah,
good. I thought this might take 4 hours to get through this, but we were able to get moving on it. We had a good pace, just like John Huston had a good pace.
exactly. Yeah.
So, do you have a movie for a Century of Movie podcast 4th episode?
Well, we got to give grades, don't we?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about
Yeah,
that. Letter
yeah.
grade.
Letter grade. Yeah, I mean, definitely going A. I mean, it's just the creating of the archetype, the subgenre of film noir, all pacing, everything we talked about. Absolute A for sure.
Yep.
I'm glad you picked this one because again, I wouldn't have seen it.
I hate to do this because there's no word go but up, but I literally have to give this an A plus because
Oh yeah, yeah.
there's just not one. When I see you know me, we talked about it. There, when I'm watching stuff, I go, I don't buy it. They could have done this better. They could have done that differently. And there's not
Yeah.
one moment in this movie where I'm like, I don't buy it. There's not one.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
just
I
like it's a
agree.
perfect movie. And so I got to go A plus, man.
Yeah, I agree. A plus. I agree.
Yep.
Just the started so many different things for
Yeah,
sure.
and I don't even think about that, but it did.
Yeah.
It created all these archetypes that went on to be tropes and whatnot for
Oh,
movies even
like
today.
that have been done so many times they're played out now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, you got to go A plus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
All right. So for episode, what you said, number 4?
Yeah, our 4th episode.
All right, we've done all bird related things
I
somehow.
know, isn't that weird?
Right. So I figure we'll keep it going and do the bird cage with Robin Williams. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say
that would be out of control.
that'd be a
I'm
little
going to
weird.
go in a totally different direction here, sort of. I'm going to go with the what year? 1997 Oliver Stone movie starring Sean Penn called U-Turn.
Wow.
Now, have you ever
Don't know it.
seen it or heard of it?
Nope.
Yep. Nobody does. It somehow slipped through the cracks. It was during kind of Oliver Stone had a tumultuous 90s with a lot of his movies, obviously.
Yeah.
And one just kind of slipped by the goalie. I don't know 5 people, I don't think, that have ever seen it.
I'm trying to think if
So
I've ever
it's
even
one,
heard of
and I
it.
have not seen it in a long time. Yeah,
Okay, so you have seen it.
exactly. It just for some reason just didn't really catch on. And I have not seen it in a very long time. But it's
Huh.
yep.
Well, that sounds
U-Turn,
like an interesting one.
1997.
Anything with Stone and Penn is immediately going to be interesting as hell. So I'm already on board
Oh,
with that. Can you hear me?
I lost you there sound wise.
Oh, well.
I don't know what happened.
Hey, you know what? End of the podcast. We'll call it now. I'll see you next month.